have a chance to picket for a price. Unions are offering minimum wage to walk picket lines. Vincent Vernuccio from the Competitive Enterprise Institute joins us from Washington, D.C. Vincent, it sounds like a joke. The union hiring non-union people at minimum wage to walk picket lines in favor of a union. Where am I wrong on this?
Well, Stuart, thanks for having me. No, it's hilarious. The problem is it's nothing new. And not only are they being paid minimum wage, they're also not receiving benefits. So no living wage, no benefits, everything that the unions fight for, internally, they don't give to their own workers. Right now, the Mid-Atlantic region of carpenters are hiring protesters for minimum wage, $8.25 an hour, no benefits, to protest outside the McPherson building right down here in Washington, D.C.
These are protesters. These are the people that we see marching up and down. That's slightly different from a picket line, isn't it? I mean, you're hiring demonstrators.
They're picketers.
What's the difference?
They're picketers. They're hiring the demonstrators. These are the guys that you see waving banners, holding signs, basically making a lot of racket, trying to do a corporate campaign to intimidate local businesses into hiring union workers, into hiring unions. Now, once again, these workers that are picketing are not the ones that are going to be hired.
Well, you could say, I suppose, that with so many people out of work, hiring somebody and paying them something is better than not hiring anybody and paying them nothing. I mean, you could make that argument, couldn't you?
Right, and by going by that same rationale, you could also say that in paying inflated union wages, where you can only hire one person instead of two, also goes against that. So if that's the argument, that is the argument that they're making, why don't we just get rid of all these inflated union contracts and hire more people to begin with?
Why
and
indeed?
Actually, well, that's a great question. I mean, this reminds me of a story from a couple years back where the United Food and Commercial Workers Union hired picketers to protest outside a Walmart in in Nevada. The temperature was 104 degrees. They barely gave them water. They gave them two 15-minute breaks within a 5-hour stretch. And these people, one had heat stroke and had to be pulled off the picket line. They barely gave them shade. And the working conditions were horrible. And these are the unions that are fighting for working conditions for workers in their own union. It just goes to the hypocrisy of it all. And it really goes to show that, there's business interest, there's union interest, and then there's worker interest. And the unions are not always fighting for that worker interest.
Vincent, come back and see us again and tell us what you really think about card check, okay? Vincent Vernuccio.
Will do.
Thanks very much for joining us. We appreciate it, Vincent. All right,